because this community service project, like, it's really like hopes instead of just go there and help other people, also have to develop ourselves. How do you think that the SP students' involvement in the community service will help benefit them in terms of like character building, which is very important as well?
Okay, I think the all community service project has some value in many different areas. I think all of you participate in the preparation and organizing the trip. Straight away from there, you already learned about leadership, organization, working together as a team, trying to understand each other, tolerant, patient, and there's so many things you can learn just even before you go on the trip. Okay, yeah. So I think this is one thing. Second thing is, you are going overseas, you need to have an understanding of the community that you're going to work in. Mm-hmm. All right, understanding a different culture, a different way of life, understanding a different belief system, the way they do things. For those of you who have been there before, you know that Filipinos, Singaporeans, quite different in the way they look at things, look at issues. Right? So there is another value there you learn about a different culture and so on. And when you get there, when you start to mix around with the people, the young, the old, and so on, you also start to realize that it's not so straightforward like you and I, we talk to each other in the same Singaporean language. Even you speak English to them, you can get miscommunicated as well.
They have their own slang and everything.
Exactly, right? So this, but I think the more important value, I hope all you learn, and I think that all this community service project is always this element which I think is very important, and that is how do we serve the community, whether it's Singapore or overseas. I think that is very important. How to give back to society. But you can argue Philippines is so far away, so what's it got to do with me? They're a different group of people. They've never helped me before. So why should I go and help them? I think if you take that view, then it's a very narrow view. We're talking about helping humanity, and we should take a very, very large, very broad view. That it's not just Singapore. Singapore cannot be alone. We are part of a bigger community. Okay, so I think be able to serve the community, whether locally or overseas, I think it's very important value. And this attitude of service must carry through all the way through your life. Okay, all right. We are always here for the community. We are part of the community. We must serve the community.
Right. Well, earlier this year, SP always sends students overseas, right? Earlier this year, there was an incident that I think was even in the news about the student in China who passed away due to an accident.
This happened last year. This student was in province of China doing ITP. That's an isolated incident. We've never had such incident before. In all trips overseas, we gave safety briefings. We brief students about safety issues. We brief students about what to do, what not to do. I think we take all kinds of precautions. For the trip to Philippines as well, although we've been there year after year, we still make sure that we go there beforehand to check out the place again, make sure that the hospital is nearby, there's transport, there's safety and so on. I think all these precautions we take. That incident is sad because I think the students decided on their own to go out in the middle of the night to have fun, where they are not supposed to. I think you all have been told that you must never go to all these places to have fun. You're supposed to stick together as a group. Unfortunately, they've decided to go on their own, and I think in the process, somehow they got people antagonized other people, and there was all this commotion, and unfortunately this boy died because of that. Now, if all of you were just to sort of follow instructions, stick together as a group, don't go to places that you are not familiar with, don't go out in the middle of the night. These are common sense precautions. Right? In Singapore, you also do the same thing. It's not that Singapore is safer than any other country, or those countries are unsafe. I think it is about common sense. If there's a dark alley in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock, would you want to walk through the dark alley? You wouldn't want to, right? So it's a lot of common sense. So I take it as isolated incident, and I think that all of you will stick together, follow some instructions. I think you'll be right. It will all be a safe trip and you can enjoy yourself.
Okay. Right. SP has always supported us, as in the students, in community services. And how would SP as a school continue to help students, like encourage them in terms of asking them to go for, especially overseas?
We, as I said earlier on about the values that you all will get. We hope we have many more. We hope many more people can go. Philippines, India, China, or wherever, because these are all learning experience. We will try our best to help in many other ways. We can sponsor some students who want to go. For the Philippines, we also sponsor quite a lot of things in terms of materials and the things that we need to give to them. So I think we'll continue because I personally think that it is a great learning experience, something that you never learned in Singapore. So our idea is that we want to encourage as many as possible to go out. Okay.
Right. And what would you say would define a very successful community service team? As a team and the project, like both.
Okay. Well, I think first thing is that the team members themselves must feel that they have learned something. Okay, and that's something you're going to decide. Every one of you going there, I'm sure, has different expectations. You go for different purposes. I'm very sure. Right now, I'm sure you ask you why you want to go there. Right? I think everyone has different expectations. I think first thing is that you must meet your expectations. Okay. Some interested to go and see. I never seen Philippines. I want to go and see, find out what it's like. Okay. But whatever it is, at the end of it, I hope that your view about certain things in life, about yourself, some of us may not have a correct perception about Philippines. Hopefully, after you go there, you have a different view of Filipinos. We have many Filipinos working in Singapore, in domestic helper, in service line. You know, a lot of Filipinos work in the restaurants and in all these places. And I hope that when you all go there and come back, your views about these people will be different. Right? Philippines, Indonesia, and so on, unfortunately have to send their people out to work and domestic helper. Sometimes Singaporeans, we take a very blanket view of these people. Okay, but these people have no choice. Okay, they do that because they have no choice. If you have a choice, would you still want to go and work with someone's family, traveling thousands of miles away, okay, with a low pay? Okay, you wouldn't do that. Okay, so they have no choice. So when we look at Filipinos after this trip, I hope when you come back, you have a higher respect for these people. Okay, different views about these people. So, and then your trip there hopefully will improve again the livelihood of the village that you're going to.
Right. Okay, as principal of SP, what are your expectations of the team?
Well, no, I don't have expectations of the team. The reason, the fact that all of you decided to spend your holiday time to go to do a community service already speaks very highly of yourself. You have decided to spend money and time where you could actually spend that kind of money and time to doing something, have fun somewhere else, but you decided to go to the Philippines. So I think that's very admirable. Right? So enjoy yourself, give off your best, okay, touch lives, and then when you touch lives, you can be sure you'll be touched in return.
Okay. Before the final question, how do you think that over the years that Singapore Poly has been working together with the Filipinos, especially in Concepcion, do you think that it has managed to contribute to the bilateral relations between the two countries?
I don't know whether the two countries is more friendly because of what we do, small little thing that we did in Concepcion. I wouldn't dare say improve my relation. But if I said earlier on, if you have, after the trip, a different and better perspective about the Filipino people, that already is a step towards improving relations. Okay? And similarly, the Filipinos, if they have negative views about Singaporeans after this trip, okay, hopefully you will change those negative views and reinforce the positive views. So whatever you do, remember you're representing Singapore, right? So you want to reinforce the positive side and you want to change the negative side. So I think if you do that, you all are playing your part in improving understanding in developing a friendship between two people. Okay, and that's why the Philippines, our Singapore embassy in Philippines is so supportive of this project. Really.
Yeah.
Anything that involves people-to-people contact are steps towards improving relationships.
Right. Okay, finally, do you have any messages for the team before we leave?
No. Go and enjoy yourself. Seriously enjoy yourself. Open mind. Learn about yourself. Learn about your friends. And go there with a very humble heart, humble attitude. Go with humility. Don't go with the attitude of I'm giving. No. Go with the attitude of I'm going to receive something in return. I think you will enjoy yourself.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Tan.
Thank you.